Hi and welcome to Darlene's Creative Studio. It's day 2, January 2nd, and we're going to work on our next creative journaling prompt. Today I have selected your favorite scrapbooking paper, and what I'm going to do is do my card very quickly. Again, we're just going to stamp the card with a number. Number 2, put that over there. Add our little wreath there, and I think I'm going to distress the edges again really quickly. Just with some brown, and this is very dark. I should have brought my other distressing pad, but because this is new, it's so dark. Just going to quickly distress that. Let me just see what my little I might soften it up a bit. Using a blending brush gives you a softer, hazy look. Anyway, that's good enough. We're just going to quickly distress that. We're going to add this to our day 2. There we go. And there is day 2, your favorite scrapbooking paper. Now I've chosen this is a Tim Holtz paper, and I want something that wasn't too busy, but I wanted it to have some vintage look to it because I'm going to keep playing with this and kind of take away from the brightness of the binder and make it more vintage. So I've selected this paper. And this is going to just go on the inside of my binder, and there is a little bump here. Let me show you with this blank binder. It has a little bump here, and this actually comes off. If you saw the first video, this actually unscrews and comes off, and there's like a little bump here. And because this is going to bend open and close quite a bit, I did not want to put the paper right across the whole inside, so I did use a piece of the fabric scrap, and I found that would be better for the opening and closing of the binder. It would stretch a little more than actually putting the paper there. I think the paper would eventually tear. So I'm just going to be putting the scrapbooking paper on the inside page, and I'm going to leave about 1/8 of an inch on either side of the edges. So this is going to be about a 9 by 7. This is 9 1/4 by 7 1/8. So I'm going to cut the paper 9 by 7 to put on the inside of this binder. So I've taken my scrapbooking paper, and I was just playing around with it to get the right measurements and stuff. I'm going to set these scraps aside because I will use those for something else. So I've taken these pieces here, and what I'm going to be using is these 2 pieces of paper for the inside cover. So here's my binder. Let's just move these over here. And I believe it's going to go like that. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my corner rounder, and I'm going to actually round at the corners, each of these corners. And for these little ones, I like to turn the punch upside down so that I can see it. I don't know how many times I've punched my corner and it's been a little lopsided, and then I get a funny looking corner. So I normally turn them upside right so that I can see that I'm punching the corner properly. Upside down, not upside right. There we go. So I've just rounded those corners, and they are going to go inside just like that on the inside of the binder. And that will be the inside. So I'm getting more of that vintagey look, and I did trade out the tea stain paper for just a little book page so that I'm going to stamp a word on this later on. I just haven't decided which word I'm going to use, but I like the book page a little better. It gives a more vintage look. So I'm going to go ahead and glue these 2 pages in. These are my scrapbooking pages, and I'm going to use the Fabri-Tac glue just because it'll hold a little better. And we're going to go ahead and just add some glue, and you always want to make sure you get those edges right to the edges so that the paper doesn't lift up. And this Fabri-Tac glue has a different kind of opening. It has the smaller cap on the top. My older ones had the twist-on cap. The smaller ones have the twist-on cap. This one just has a little red knob on the top. So you do have to punch your own hole into the top of these glue bottles, and it comes out a lot better if you do that. If you actually stick the awl right inside the opening. So let's just put this where we want it and slide it around until we get the best positioning like that. And then I'm going to take my brayer and I'm going to go from the inside out, and that will just spread the glue a little better. And then make sure you do your edges, and make sure you get right to the edges and really push it down. There. So there's one side of my binder. Let's do the other side. And again, we're just going to get right to the edges. So I've set up my workstation a little differently because I'm on holiday and I could only bring so many supplies with me. I'm going to find out halfway through this that I've forgotten something. I know I am. So I'm going to give you a quick little, I'm going to add a little video to the end of this session, day 2, and I'm going to show you where everything is set up in my studio. I'm just going to give you a quick little tour of how I've got things set up that I took when I set everything up. I will show you how it's all laid out here. So we just want to make sure we get right to those edges so that the cardboard won't lift up. And we stick that in there like that. I'll put my lid back on here. So there is the inside. And I use my favorite scrapbooking paper, and I believe this is the memorandum or something like that. That is the Tim Holtz pad that I've used. That is one of my favorites, and I know that they do not sell it in Michael's anymore, or they do. It's Wallflower usually is what I find in my Michael's in Owen Sound, Ontario. But I do know that Joanne Fabrics does carry Tim Holtz paper, so while I'm here I will be hitting that store and getting some more of my favorite papers. So there we go. We've got our inside cover done, and then I think tomorrow I'm going to try and pick a different prompt that's a little bit fun, like work on an envelope or something like that, and maybe use some of these scraps of these scrapbooking papers on that. But that is the inside, and again, you wanted to make sure you put some tape on those brad ends so that they don't poke through the paper. And I will be adding more stuff here. I might add a die cut or something, or an envelope. I will be adding more onto these pages, but that is my base for the inside cover. So there's day 2 of the January creative journal prompt, and we will work on day 3. And again, stay tuned because there is going to be a quick little tour of how I have my setup here in the condo. Hope you enjoyed the video, and we will see you again tomorrow. Thanks for watching.